Hey everyone, so today's video was actually inspired by a subscriber of mine, and it was Linda Cooper's recommendation for me to create a video basically talking about some project pan ideas and to give you guys some inspiration, whether you're thinking of starting project pans or you already are a project panner and you just want some inspiration for different types of projects and different ways to incorporate project pans into sort of your makeup routine and just different types of projects to really use all the makeup in your collection. So I actually have a lot of different ideas here, and this is just based off of project pans that I've done. A lot of these projects I do really love myself doing, and I have loved doing in the past. So these are just some recommendations for you, just depending on what specifically you're looking for. Obviously, there are a bunch of different options, so you can kind of curate these to your own needs. So let's go ahead and get into all of these ideas. So the first one, and kind of the first project that comes to mind when I think of project panning, is just a year-long rolling project pan. Now for this, in the past, I have just done a normal makeup year-long rolling project pan, and my main focus is makeup when it comes to project panning. However, you can pan skincare, hair care, body care, really whatever type of products you want to pan, you can pan. But I like to do a year-long makeup rolling project pan, which is basically exactly as it sounds, a rolling project pan. So once you finish off a product or hit your goal on a product, you then roll it out and roll in a new product. So I really like this type of project because I feel like I can get through quite a few products. And because it is a year-long project pan, I usually set a little bit more challenging goals for myself with these projects, just because I know I have the whole year to reach those goals. So I may try to hit pan on a blush that hasn't really been used much, because blushes for me are really difficult to pan, while also keeping in mind that I do want some easier products in this project, because I don't want to sort of get down on myself if I'm not hitting any goals. So I like to keep a balance of more difficult, challenging goals and then of easier goals. For example, if I have a product that is almost finished, then I will just throw it into this project to completely finish it off, while also including those more difficult, challenging products that might be in for the whole entire year. Another type of project that I have also participated in is a seasonal type of project. I used to do seasonal shop my stashes, basically just picking products out of my collection that I wanted to use for those couple months. But there's also seasonal project pans where you can set goals on products and kind of rotate through them each season. So I did the monochromatic seasonal project pan this past year, and basically you rolled in about 8 products, like 6 to 10 products, really as many as you wanted each season, but you would use them for those 3 months and then you would roll them out and roll in all new products. So I do really like this type of project. This does end up being sort of more of a usage-based project because you can't like really easily hit pan, or depending on what type of product it is, it might be difficult to hit pan or like completely finish off a product in 3 months. So this type of project I do really love, more so to work on products just to get use out of them, not necessarily to work on products to finish them up or hit pan on them. So the year-long rolling project pan is kind of almost the opposite of a seasonal project pan. The year-long project pan will be more so to hit pan and finish products, whereas a seasonal project pan I feel like is more so a usage-based project, at least for me. You can also do just a usage-based project. So right now I'm doing a project 5 uses specifically with all my lip products. So that's actually another thing I have written down. But you can do a project 10 uses, which I have done in the past, where basically you just roll in like usually 6 to 10 products that you want to use 10 times. And that type of project is a rolling style project where you just use the product 10 times and then roll in a new product. And I did really enjoy that just for rotating through my makeup collection and making sure I was getting use out of everything. Usage-based projects are really helpful with that. Just make sure you're getting use out of everything in your collection, because if you're doing a project 10 uses, obviously it doesn't take like multiple months to use a product 10 times, at least it shouldn't. So you're kind of more quickly rotating through your products. You can also do like a project 100 uses if there's like, for example, products in your collection that you feel like you just never really go through and will never completely use up. You can do a project 100 uses, but I tried that once and it got very old very quickly, just because obviously you're using the products 100 times. So I felt like it was kind of never ending, like I was never really gonna actually reach that goal. I more so like to use my products a little bit more organically. I feel like 100 use goal is just too overwhelming, at least for me. But you can also curate this to however you like it. You can do a project 50 uses, project 20 uses, however much you feel like works for you. And you can also do different uses for different types of products. Sort of going along with this is a specific category project pan. So like I said, I'm doing a project 5 uses with all of my lip products. So I'm just rolling all of my lip products into this project, not at once. I'm rolling 6 to 8 lip products into the project at once. Once I get 5 uses out of them, I then roll it out and roll in a new lip product. So this is just to go through all of my lip products, make sure I actually like all the colors and formulas that I have. So it kind of helps me to also declutter a little bit and make sure I'm only keeping the products that I really, really love and know I will actually use. So with my lip project, I feel like this is very helpful for me since I do have quite a few lip products. It's a way to sort of go through those lip products and actually use them and make sure that I like them all. So if there's a specific category in your collection that you're a little bit overwhelmed with, where you kind of just have been neglecting a lot of them and you just want to kind of go through, use each one and decide if you like it, I feel like these type of projects are really, really great, just specific category based projects where you do like a project 5 uses with, for example, all of your blushes. If that's an overwhelming category for you, it allows you to sort of slowly go through all of your blushes and actually use them to figure out whether or not you want to keep them in your collection. Another type of project pan, which may be useful for you, and I feel like is useful for a lot of people, is a sample project pan. So I did this when I first started panning because I had so many products in my collection and I had accumulated so many samples. You know how you get all those free samples with every makeup order that you make? So all of these obviously had accumulated over time and I just never really ended up using them. So if you have all these little samples just laying around, I would highly recommend doing a sample project pan, basically where you try to pan all of these sample products that you have. And I did this project, I believe only for a few months, and I ended up finishing off most of the samples that I had. So this was really helpful just to get the clutter out of my collection and just to use up those samples, figure out if I actually liked the product and wanted to purchase a full size, but also because those samples build up so quickly with making makeup purchases because they come free. Like I feel like free samples come with almost every makeup order. So it's a good project to do just to initially get those samples out of your collection. And I find since I've done that sample project pan a couple years back, I haven't really accumulated samples anymore. Now I feel like I actually try to use my samples rather than just have all of them laying around, because it's actually a really easy way to get products out of your collection, especially if you count your samples in your makeup inventory. It's a really easy way to quickly get a lot of products out of your collection and just get rid of a little bit of that clutter. Another idea for a project pan is taking a bunch of products that you are close to finishing or close to hitting pan on that are relatively easy products. You could also do the opposite of this and try to pan some products that you have neglected and haven't gotten much use out of and are basically brand new. I know the Fantastic Ladies collab group has a project called Turn and Burn, where you basically choose a bunch of products in your collection that are pretty easy to pan or to finish off, and you just rotate through all of those. And it is a rolling style project pan where you basically just go through all the products that are really easy to pan or finish off in your collection. And I find that that's a really good way to improve your pan percentage and also just get some products that have been laying around almost finished out of your collection, because some people I know will use almost all of a product up but then stop using it because they don't want to completely finish it, so there'll just be that like tiny amount left at the bottom of the product. So this is really useful to just finish off those products that you're almost done with, just to get them out of your collection, because in reality you don't really need those products sitting around in your collection, especially if you're not using them. You may as well use them up, finish them off, and get them out of your collection. Another idea is sort of an example that goes with a specific category, but any eyeshadow based project, if you're looking to pan some eyeshadows, I know there is the Pan Those Eyeshadows project. If you're really into panning eyeshadows, one of those projects would be great to do. I did try that project. It just was a little bit overwhelming for me. I don't love panning eyeshadow just because I feel like it takes so long, so I don't really see any progress over time. It's not like the most rewarding type of project for me, at least, but I know a lot of people do love the Pan Those Eyeshadows project. And something that I have done sort of as a eyeshadow project pan is just panning the cream shades in my palettes, because I know those cream shades that are just my skin tone that don't really get any love, because usually I don't really set my primer down with a cream shade. But what I started doing is, in my makeup rolling project pan last year, I would have an eyeshadow palette in that project at all times, just to hit pan on the cream shade in a palette, so that I was getting use out of those cream shades and I was hitting some more pan in my collection as well. And also that's, I feel like, one of the easiest types of shadows to hit pan on besides like a highlight type of shade. So I did sort of incorporate that into my other project. That's also something you can do if you want to pan more eyeshadows. Just include one eyeshadow palette in your main project pan to try to hit pan on some shades. I feel like that's a really great idea, is if you don't want to do a whole eyeshadow palette or a whole eyeshadow project, you can just sort of incorporate that little by little into your other projects by incorporating some eyeshadows into your projects that include all the other categories in your makeup as well. Another type of project you can do is just a project focusing on specific types of projects. So for example, this year I am starting the Partners in Cream project pan, because cream products do tend to go bad pretty quickly. So I want to go through some of those and get some of those out of my collection before they go bad. This way, this project will really help me to push myself to finish off some of those cream products and get some of them out of my collection before they go bad. So if there are products in your collection that you've had for so long, you could do a project pan focusing on, for example, like your oldest products in your collection, just because you want to get those products out of your collection, obviously, because they are the oldest in your collection. So just thinking of what types of products you want to pan and what specifically in your collection you would like to pan and finish off and get out of your collection. That is all I have for specific ideas and inspiration for project pans, but I also just wanted to mention the Fantastic Ladies collabs group on Facebook. If you do have Facebook, I would highly recommend joining that group, because I do get a lot of my project pan ideas from them. A couple of them I mentioned in this video obviously are from the Fantastic Ladies collab group, as I said, and a lot of the projects that I'm doing this year are from their group, and I've had a lot of fun sort of collaborating with them. And it's really fun to participate in a project pan where you're collaborating with other people and doing it alongside other people, so you can keep track of their progress, and it also motivates you to sort of use those products and do better in your project pan if you're doing it along with a bunch of other people. Even if you're not documenting your project pan, it's still really nice to have that community to sort of fall back on and to give you a lot more motivation and inspiration for project pans. So I would highly recommend that group. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I really hope it was helpful for you. Let me know down below in the comments if there's any project pans you're going to start in 2022. I will be posting a lot of my intros in January, so stay tuned for all of those project pans that I will be doing throughout this year. And if you did enjoy this, make sure to give it a thumbs up. I do post new videos about 3 times a week, so if you want to see more from me, make sure to subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell icon to get notified every time I post. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.